thing I must do is start
Oh,
going
shit.
for girls that look remotely, that look average or above average, instead of just.
And then this way, I think, right? I don't know. It's
At the stop sign,
Yeah.
turn right onto Arnold Street, then turn right onto Elm Street.
It's taking us in a weird little square. Everyone Ubered here.
I wonder if they're all like
One, two,
Western
three.
State students.
Probably not. They all looked older. Especially that girl in black. She looked like
At
she
the
was
light,
least
turn
our
right
age.
onto Elm Street.
Oh, it's not even them. Oh, that's the bad
Oh,
girl.
it's
The ugly girl.
yeah.
Those girls are still in the bathroom.
That's so funny. Oop, wrong way.
Right.
No, turn on red. That's gay.
Well, you can turn on green, you retard.
I'm reading.
In 700 feet, make a U-turn at US 20.
I don't support U-turns at all.
Why is Shane so read?
I don't even
Make
care.
a U-turn at US 20.
He's only
then
read if
turn
you
right
let him
onto
be
Main
read.
Street.
I have no idea what this is telling you to do. I guess go that way. Oh, good lord. This is terrifying.
I'm trying to see where the hell to get to. Do I go through here?
I guess this way left.
Yeah, that fat girl was way too fat and way too black.
And way too weird.
Yeah.
Wait, go slow.
Turn right,
Right.
onto Main Street.
Is there anyone behind me?
I don't know. Hopefully not, because you will get pulled over for what you just did.
Oh, maximum bulldog.
Oh, some of those bitches are at. They were in the club.
Oh my god. It's
In
crazy how
6.9
sexy
miles,
all the bitches
turn
are.
right onto
A lot
Elm
of the
Street.
girls I worked with were super sexy at GMB.
The positive thing though is after Katarina, there are some girls, like the girls have been getting higher and higher quality. Like I fucked Vanessa, that's probably the highest quality looking girl I fucked maybe.
Oh, but you said she had a man ass, so that instantly drops her down to Katarina quality.
Yeah. Yeah, we could all get Oh shit.
I would slightly support an open relationship, but like the type of open relationship where I fuck multiple women and like have threesomes with Nicole and several women and several of her sexy friends, but she does nothing else with anyone else. That's the only sort of open relationship I would support.
That's like, that's spicy. It's interesting when I was with Carrie, I was trying to think why didn't I utilize the open relationship when I was with Carrie, but then I realized I didn't have a car at that time. That's why.
Gotcha.
It's so much easier for me to get bitches now that I have a car. It's crazy.
I think our freshman year we would have gotten millions of bitches if we had cars.
Yep. Imagine how much different college life would have been with a car.
Alright, so imagine this. Imagine if in high school,
What's the speed limit?
35, we were socially well adjusted, at least to the point that we were in college, and we tried. I think that we would have started college with our licenses, with certain level of social skills, and absolutely fucking killed it in college. Because I think what we did in college was most people's high school equivalency.
Yeah,
Drive
it
slower
is.
as a cop.
What is the speed limit?
It's 35, but you don't want to be going too close to it. Yeah, I genuinely think that if we had like more normal high school experiences, college would have been.
The thing that I question about
More
that
lit.
though is like I feel that people that peak in high school a lot of the time like get lower in life compared to others.
Yeah, I don't mean
I
peak like football player, quarterback, prom king kind of guy. I just mean like a normal
social
person that works
Oh yeah.
has a car
Yep.
and has like
Yeah,
slight
yeah.
self-sufficiency,
I completely agree.
I think that we would have absolutely
You
thrived in
learned how to
college.
do laundry, this, that. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
And I think that we would have excelled beyond normal people.
Yeah.
But I think college was almost for both of us like catching up to
Yeah.
everyone else.
And
I
also
think we
passing, but,
completely
like, yeah.
caught up to everyone else,
Yeah.
at least as far as like most things go.
Yeah.
But I think if I tried harder in high school and had any idea what I wanted to do, I simply would have been able to get into the career easier. Because I would have had some work experience graduating
Yeah.
college.
If I knew that we needed like more experience and stuff within our field, blah blah, I would have done more internships and stuff.
Yeah. Especially, you live in that area.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have a car, couldn't do any internships or in Boston or anything like that, which is one of the main reasons you want to be near a city when you're going to college.
Yeah.
So like that was a horribly like dumb thing of me to not do that.
I forget who I was having a conversation with. I was having a conversation with someone when I was in Boston or something. I forget. But I was like saying to myself, saying to them or whatever, like, I wonder how. Now I'm curious on who the hell I was talking to. It might have been 2 years now. But I wonder how much different life would have been if I were to go to college in downtown Boston. You know what I mean? There's lots of stuff to do there, lots of potential opportunities, this, that, you know what I mean?
See, I don't think I would have liked going to school there, but I think I should have used the proximity.
Yeah. It's been 40.
40, yeah. Imagine if instead of making friends like Shane and Cam and Jonah,
Like actually making.
we had real lasting friendships,
Yeah.
with people like not Hallie, but like Caitlin and Molly, and who else was normal?
A number of
No one else was normal, realistically.
A number of normal people were people that the cannabis crew associated with or remotely normal.
See, I don't consider them normal either,
Yeah, I agree.
because they were a little too druggy.
Yeah. I'm
Trying
trying to
to-
think.
I can't think of anyone else that I consider normal other than Molly and Christina.
Colton's crew.
Yeah, Colton's crew. I think that we could have been significantly better with that crew.
I think our problem, you and my problem, like I think you and I are capable in integrating into those basic crews and like normal people crews.
Yeah.
I think people like Cam, Shane, and a number of other people who are around us are not capable. You know what I mean? I think
Mhm.
cannabis. The only other people who are capable around us were the cannabis crew. I think are capable.
3 miles.
But yeah, I like. Yeah, I think what hindered us a big amount wasn't exactly ourselves. It was the people around us.
Yeah.
You think back at it of what Nate and Shane removed a lot.
I think a major problem for me throughout my life has been being a shy guy.
Shy guy.
I think that's like my number one thing that's held me back in so many situations. I get at this point sporadic social anxiety, but to an almost extreme level, which I think it's pretty pussy that people, like other people I meet that seem to have social anxiety are absolute pussies about it.
Yeah.
Like they just, I don't know, they almost think of it as part of their character as opposed to something to avoid.
Yeah.
But in most situations, I'm pretty fine now.
I support it.
When I was in high school, I simply could not bring myself to call anywhere, like any business to make an
Oh, that was the
appointment,
same with
order
me.
anything. I could not go up to the counter at a restaurant at a place like Chipotle to order food.
That'd be similar to me.
and just other extreme social anxieties, like people trying to talk to me and me walking away because I just could not handle speaking with them. And then, like, now it manifests its way in the most, like, weird things. Like, once I let something become weird for me, it ends up becoming extremely weird. So, like, at work on, like, my second week there, my boss mentioned that, every Thursday there's bagels and everyone can grab a bagel if you want one. And I was just so what the fuck's in the road? I was so focused on working hard and being the best employee, not taking even a second of breaks, that I ended up never getting, like, the bagels. And then slowly over time I got too nervous to get a bagel. So I've been there like 2 months. I have not talked to anyone pretty much. Like my first few days I was so extremely nervous about the new job that I was fucking shit up, like forgetting to save my files and losing them and stuff like that.
What's speed limit?
35.
Okay.
And it's 30, I guess. And stuff like just barely talking to anyone, avoiding everyone, not looking up from my computer. I had headphones in all the time because I was editing. And then eventually I decided I wanted to get a bagel one of these days. And when I finally went to get a bagel, there were 3 people in there, and I was so
Horrified.
nervous that it wasn't even like in my head I was nervous. I physically was shaking this bad as my hand reached towards the donut and the ladies in my office were talking to me. My hand was shaking like that, trying to one of the most embarrassing experiences of my life. But I don't know anyone's name. I was too nervous to pay attention to people's names when he took me around the office introducing me. So I don't know anyone's name, even though I've met some of them 2 to 3 times. It's so bad. And
Spicy.
the only singular person that I've had peak amounts of good conversation and made them laugh many times is my boss.
That's good.
Because like during my interview, I had an extreme amount of confidence and I killed the interview, and then like because of that 90% of our interactions are extremely good. Sometimes it's awkward because I just kind of have to stop by his office and be like, so what's the plan for today? And he's gonna like, oh, he's got so much going on that he's always distracted. But overall, like, I get along with him great. It's just the whole rest of the office probably wouldn't give a fuck if I were dead. And
that's crazy.
that isn't that bagel thing peak?
That's so funny.
Absolutely I can't like even when I was a peak shy guy.
Shy. Yeah.
That never happened, where I would have like a hardcore physical reaction to nerves. Is that another police out? No, it's a Jeep.
Yeah, I wonder though that theory that you said of Christina, of what she was saying, like,
turn
oh yeah,
right
we don't,
onto
you know
Elm
what I
Street.
mean, don't hang out with blah 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 blah. I wonder if that was a legit theory.
Oh,
Can I turn right?
Yeah, but you gotta stop first.
In a quarter mile, turn left onto Park Avenue.
So like when it's a red light, even if you can turn on red, it's a stop sign pretty much.
But yeah, I wonder which lane do I see?
You're turning left
Somewhere
at the light. Is that a one-way?
Fuck.
Oh god.
At the light, turn left onto Park Avenue.
Thank God we didn't go onto the one-way.
That would not have been fun.
Look at that quality judgment.
In a quarter mile, take a slight right turn
you know,
to merge
Cam
onto
would have
US
been
5 South toward
steaming.
Agawam.
So, at 80 miles per hour right up that ramp.
That would be neat though.
900
Imagine if we started hanging out with
Stay
that
in the middle
group.
lane.
What would be lit? Oh, hang out with them.
Yeah.
The thing is, they live literally nowhere near me.
Yeah. They live a lot closer to me then like, then wait, where? Oh, forward. But they live.
Use the right lane to take a slight right turn to merge
Back
onto
in the
US
day, I
5
used to
South
think
toward
they
Agawam.
lived so far away from me, but
Yeah.
now that I have a car and like I go far distances and stuff like that, they're actually not that far away at all from me. Like them, no traffic is probably 30 minutes,
Okay.
which isn't bad at all.
Christina works for an absolutely lit place.
I know. She was telling me.
Oh, really?
Talked to her. Yeah,
What
when
did
I
she
talked to
say?
her. I
In
completely
2.8
forgot.
miles,
Ah,
I
you
think it was
retard.
like a
Right
high
onto US
position
5 South toward
at
I-91
TJ
South.
Maxx, like at their actual office.
Well,
here.
yeah, like TJX Corporation,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
And like yeah, in college when there was that whole Hallie Coon situation or whatever, like I was triggered to the point where I would never want to hang out with them, you know what I mean, that kind of thing. But then like now, I mean like I still don't want to hang out with Hallie Coons, but they don't hang out with her.
Yeah. Even when we used
I'd be down to hang out with the rest of that crew or their friendly and stuff.
even when we used to run into Molly and Christina,
Yeah.
or like I mean Molly and Caitlin when they were drunk at the grill,
Yeah.
that was always peak lit.
I agree, because the thing is, it's like that's what I've been doing all these days ever since after Katerina and stuff. Is like weeding
2
out,
miles.
as I said
In
earlier,
2 miles,
like
keep right
weeding
onto
out the
US
cringe
5
people and
South
starting
toward
hanging out
I-91
with
South.
more normal people, like the Canvas crew. How I started hanging out with them more, and like more normal people. So
I think Caitlin is the peak level of attractiveness for you.
I would love to.
I wonder what the 4 of them's sexual experiences are.
I know.
I think that Molly has probably fucked roughly 3 men. Christina, 12 to 18.
Really.
Caitlin, 0. And Hallie Coots, like, 2.
I think for Hallie Coots, it's probably 2 to 4.
Yeah.
And Caitlin, I think, is 0 to 3.
Okay.
Or 0 to 2, more likely.
Yeah.
I
Stay
think
in the left lane.
that's kind of interesting. I've never noticed her ever liking any guy. But and then should I say the left?
Left lane. Yeah.
And then Molly and Christina, I do think are more than the other two. Molly, I think is way too obvious. I can't see anything. But Molly, I think is probably I'm guessing around 3 to 3 to 6, and I think the same with Christina. Something like that. Or maybe like 3 to 7.
Use the right lane to keep right onto US 5 South
I know
toward
that
I-91 South.
Molly had a boyfriend for a while,
Yeah.
like over a year.
And then Callie Cooch had that really long-term boyfriend before the long-term boyfriend she currently has.
Yeah. She's such a phony baloney, though.
Yeah. I don't like her at all. She ruined it between me and Kara. Like,
Keep
she
right,
thought I was
then
gonna be like
continue onto
a
I-91
fuck
South.
boy, blah blah blah. You know what I mean? Which was not true. We were just gonna like watch a movie or whatever. And I was is it over here?
Yeah.
And I was gonna see how it goes and stuff like that, but completely
Continue
ruined
onto
that by
I-91
telling
South,
lies.
then take exit
So you're
1
going
onto
this way
US
to the
5
left.
South toward
It's
Forest
annoying
Park.
because Kara is hot.
Actually, I think you can stay. No. Yeah, so you're gonna get into that lane and then I'll put you directional on your retard. Wait.
What?
Maybe
Use the
stay.
right lane
Oh,
to take
get
exit
back
1
in this
onto
lane.
US 5 South toward
Oh,
Forest
Marie.
Park. Then keep left onto US 5 South.
And you're getting off that.
This one?
Yeah. And then you're keeping left.
That's Reed.
Keep left onto US 5 South toward Forest Park.
I think one of the people that I personally have felt the most chemistry with.
Also put let me know to put a reminder when we get to your house.
Yeah.
I want to
But like one of the people I've felt the most chemistry with in my whole life is Molly.
Yeah.
Like one of the top, just like pure attraction to her.
Use the right lane to continue onto
And the
US
thing
5.
too is like,
Oh, yeah, in the right hand lane.
the thing too about them is like, I think 100% that
Stay in the right lane.
it's possible that we could have like
Alright, so keep going straight.
In half a mile, turn left onto Converse Street.
I think 100% it's possible for us to have like done stuff with them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like sexually and or relationship wise. Like mean at some point in our life.
Well, I think that fully that first night I ever met Molly,
Yeah.
that we easily could have fucked if I weren't in a relationship.
Yeah.
And even despite the relationship, easily if Hallie hadn't opened her fat trap.
Yeah.
That was so spicy.
That was spicy. Isn't that lit though? How real hot girls like that and other
At the
girls
light, turn left onto Converse Street.
interacted with like chummed for us.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
I don't know if you're even in a lane. I fully support when multiple girls are fighting over.
I
you.
know.
You know when I had multiple girls fighting over me?
When?
Jake's
In 2.3
20
miles,
second
turn right
breakdown.
onto Dwight
yep.
Road.
Good times.
That was a horrible time.
Uh,
All of Jake's birthdays are Cinco de Mayo level of disgusting.
I always forget about that because there's been so many traumatic and disgusting events that happened in our lives that that's just one.
I know.
extra-
Imagine that at one point Cinco de Mayo was the most traumatic event of my whole life.
And now that's nothing compared
Oh my
to so
God.
much nothing. Oh my god.
Now I expect shit like that daily.
Yep. Oh my god.
Jake caused some traumatic events back when I was in high school though. Like, I was a shy guy.
Shy guy.
And I would occasionally do drawings of girls I had crushes on from like Instagram and stuff like that. And you're on this road for a while. So I would do that, and one day he snuck photos of them and showed them to the girls I drew in front of me with them there. It made me extremely uncomfortable. And then alright, so here's an example of something weird that happened to me in high school. So this girl that I had a crush on for a long time, and I think Jake had probably told her that I had a crush on her, because he does dumb shit like that.
Why is he so free?
But she came over and she was like, "Oh, do any of you have $10?"
Oh, I remember this story.
Yeah. And she was like, "Oh, Anthony Garcetti, if you give me $10, I'll suck your cock." And said it like repeatedly many times, and I was just like, "Oh, here, take the $10. No cock sucking necessary." Oh, isn't that so dang? Someone that I was extraordinarily attracted to, $10 that I simply didn't have because I didn't have a job. Just so much retardation. And then even like as we would hang out junior year of college, me, Jake, and that girl, because she's friends with Jake, we would all hang out, and he would be like, "Oh, Allie, you know that Anthony used to have a massive crush on you in high school." He's so savage with girls.
Like Nate level?
So here's an example. Like the girls will say, "Oh, Jake, you're disgusting," and he'll say like, "Oh yeah, well, why don't you come a little closer and say that to me while I'm bending over my knee and pounding that ass?" And they'll be like, "Oh my God, Jake," and leave. Like they actually leave.
I love that savagery.
And he's like, "Oh, Allie, you know you want to fucking riddle." And they're all so disgusted by it.
Did he lose his virginity yet?
No, not
Oh
even
my
close.
God.
I think that because he's such a pussy, I'm reinstating his virginity. Like, he is still a virgin. I don't even support it.
Why is everyone so retarded?
Mm.
Oh my god. So much retardation.
But yeah, back when I was in college, I tried to force myself to like people, but now I simply only like people that I actually like.
Yeah, that's basically the same with me now.
Oh, I rarely find, so I think I tend to get along with more women than men.
At the stop
And then
sign, turn right onto Dwight Road
I
and
think
turn
it's
left onto
probably
West Chestnut Street.
because I'm a little mama's boy and I grew up with my mama and then two sisters, and like that's who I was closest with.
Yeah.
So I think I just tend to like the female characteristics a lot more than like Nate type characteristics. Alright, so take a right.
Yeah.
And
Is
then
that a cop?
yeah, so just keep straight
In a
right
quarter
here.
mile, turn left onto West Chestnut Street.
It's gonna tell you to turn left, but I don't want you doing any sort of merging in front of the cops, so just keep straight.
He's
And
not
then-
even in his vehicle.
Oh really?
Yeah.
That's because he's ready to hop out and fuck us.
No, he's talking to someone else.
So, alright, so just keep going straight.
But, middle of nowhere.
Oh, what the fuck was I even saying?
People like,
What was it in context?
uh,
Oh, people like Nate and like Shane, like hyper aggressive retard men.
yeah.
I simply have never gotten along with shit like that. And as a kid growing up, like my dad would try to be like a masculine real man, and my mom would just destroy him like, oh, you fucking retard, shut your damn mouth, you think you're a man, you little tiny bean. Like just absolutely rip into him and be a complete savage. So I ended up like picking on to that, and now I simply hate like arrogant, cocky assholes.
Yeah.
But Nicole's friend Heather had one single boyfriend that I happened to meet, and I've met hundreds of her friends' boyfriends, and it was so like lit hanging out with this kid. He was a complete baller, kind of like a Nick Hands,
Yeah.
except more advanced and more assimilated into society.
Yeah.
And he ended up, she broke up with him
Ooh,
after 3 years
that's
and
so
is now dating, meeting parents with, and doing all sorts of stuff with that disgusting Nick kid.
Oh my god.
And this guy was ripped, handsome,
So
lit,
she's retarded. Is she hot?
quasi.
Okay.
She's got a tight little body, but not really. Also, it's dank. Situations that I never thought would have happened in high school have happened in college. Specifically, even like post-college, is when I go to hang out with Nicole.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
What is
stop
this?
sign, and then you have to take a left. But I've found myself in the situation where I'm hanging out, and I am the singular only guy hanging out with 15 to 20 basic white girls, including all of her sexy roommates, all of their sexy friends, and not one singular other guy, and we're all just drinking and partying and being
That's so lit.
savages.
Yeah.
Do you know that, so
Little
John
bitches.
John
Little
Milesevich and
bitches.
that Kristen girl?
Chris.
Yeah, there was some the one that caused trouble between me and John. He hated me for a while
Oh.
because he thought I said
Oh,
that he
yeah,
didn't pay
yeah,
fairly
yeah,
because some girl said something to him.
Yeah, yeah.
So that situation was she was the ugliest, crustiest bitch at that party,
Yeah.
but she was also the least basic.
Yeah.
And I thought Nicole was friends with her, so I spent like a solid hour and a half conversing with her, and eventually she ended up like not even being friends with Nicole. I found out
Yeah.
she had just followed one of her roommates to the party.
That's funny.
One of Nicole's roommates is so attractive.
I feel now if I would go to like a Framingham State Party or
Actually, two
something
of
like
them are.
that,
Yeah.
but like have an in, you know what I mean? Go with a crew like that or
Oh,
something
take
like
a
that.
right. Take a right. This way. This way.
Then I feel I would be able to have a lot more chance now getting the bitches now that I have like the facial hair and everything, confidence and everything.
Oh, take a left. Take a left. I think that our peak getting bitches years so far were like 18 to 20, and then I think 21 to now has gone downhill, and I think that like 25 to like 30 will be our single like most appealing.
I think what it was is because freshman year of college I felt we had the most opportunities, you know what I mean?
Well, I think that we were just simply significantly better looking freshman year than we are now.
For me, I don't think so.
Oh God,
Like
John.
I looked too baby-like in freshman year and stuff like. The only better thing about me freshman year was how I had more hair. It was like a give and take kind of thing.
Yeah, that's the thing. I
But
think
from what I've heard from a lot of different girls that have looked through, like seen my photos and stuff like that, and older photos and stuff like that, they all said that like they wouldn't have been interested in me if they met me like my freshman year of college or before.
Yeah. I think out of everyone in the whole entire squad, I have the most variance when it comes to bitches.
Yeah.
Like, there's an extreme amount of bitches that find me. Like, I have this right. That's my house.
Right here.
Yeah. Like, there's an extreme amount that find me incredibly attractive, and then they either think that or they find me completely disgusting.
Yeah.
And
that's also what.
Well, I was gonna say like that happens with Shane too.
And it happens with Nate.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
People either find him quite attractive or repulsive.
But I've heard so many different things from like so many random different people.